this distance education lesson, we are going to identify some tips and tricks for creating and posting a video discussion board. Many people are understandably nervous about completing a video blog or video discussion board for the first time, but with a little bit of effort, experimentation, and by following the tips and tricks discussed in this video, the fear will be replaced by confidence. Some of the first things to consider when making video discussion boards are: what type of recording device will you be using? What program will you use to record the video? How will you edit the video if desired? And how will you share it once it has been made? Most people don't have professional video equipment lying around the house, but with the recent advancements in computer webcams and smartphone cameras, it has become easier to record a personal video and make it look professional. Additionally, most computers and smartphones have editing software built into them so that quick edits can be done with minimal effort and experience. Video hosting services like YouTube and Vimeo, or cloud storage like Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive provide excellent online platforms to share videos, and most of these require only a free account to access. Most laptops have some type of embedded video camera in their screen. However, if you have a laptop or desktop computer that does not have this capability, there are some very reasonable options available for purchase. These cameras can usually be mounted on top of the screen, and many can be adjusted for height differences. I would recommend that you get one with a USB input because the hardware is versatile and can be used on different types of computers. If you are using a smartphone, make sure that the video recording options have a high enough video recording speed. Typically 720p at 30 frames per second is sufficient, but if you want a higher quality video, I would suggest going up to 1080p. This will take more memory, but the resolution will be much better. Many smartphones have two cameras on them, front-facing and rear-facing. The one in the back facing away from the user is going to be a higher quality camera, so I would recommend that you use that one if at all possible. Many phones have a Bluetooth enabled option that allows the user to start recording without having to click on the button. If using a computer webcam to record your video, make sure that the camera is level with your face. If you are looking up, the viewer feels like they are looking down on you, and it actually strains the neck muscles and hampers the vocal cords. Looking down makes the viewer feel like they are looking up to you and also bunches the neck and creates shadows. I would highly discourage trying to record sitting down in a couch or recliner position because it will create an odd and uncomfortable angle for both you and the viewer. Typically, sitting in a chair at a desk or table allows you the ability to sit up and look straight into the camera. Before recording, try to get an angle that works for you, and also try to think about watching the video from the viewer's perspective. Another thing to consider when using a smartphone is to always use the landscape orientation and use a phone holder. Don't try to hold the phone in your hand because it will cause the video to be shaky and the footage unusable. Propping up the phone can work, but if you will be creating several videos for class, I highly recommend purchasing an inexpensive phone holder device to get your best results. Another consideration is the use of a microphone. There are some very good options that are available, and I highly recommend that you find something that is going to give you the best sound quality, because the better your sound quality, the better end product you will have. Most laptops or desktop computers do not have very good sound input quality. They are just not designed for this, so one of the best things that you can do is to purchase some type of microphone system, whether headphones with a mic attached, a standalone microphone, or use the external webcam that you use for recording. I typically like to use a headset mic when I record because it keeps the ambient noise from filtering in. I would recommend getting a microphone with USB capability instead of an 1/8 inch cable that fits into the input jack. I personally have had better sound quality results with this particular setup. Most smartphones have decent microphones. However, one of the problems is that they pick up a lot of extraneous noise and can muddy up the video sound-wise. There are several options that you can use if desired. No matter what type of microphone is used, I recommend that you always check the audio in a pre-test because your volume level is very important. In the end, the goal is to not frustrate the viewer. Too soft and the viewer will strain to hear you. Too loud and the viewer will cringe in pain. Another consideration when recording is the attempt to limit distractions. This could be everything from background noises, background movements, poor lighting, and even body distraction. Try to limit background noises such as an overhead fan or air conditioner. Make sure that the washer, dryer, or dishwasher is not running in the background. Turn the TV off, and if at all possible, make sure children or animals are not in the room, creating both verbal and visual distractions. Attempt to record in an open carpeted room if possible, because it will limit echoes. For example, instead of recording in a smaller room that has tile, record in a living room or office. Try to limit distractions behind you as well, such as open windows or blinds where cars or people are going by, random movements such as TV being left on, fish tank, or even a clock. Another thing to consider is extraneous odds and ends in the background, such as the dinner meal or even distracting pictures. Lighting is an important aspect of recording, so it should be adjusted to get the best quality. If possible, record with natural light. However, make sure that no harsh lighting is behind you because the camera will pick this up and create a halo. Soft lights can be pointed upwards to diffuse or spread out the light a little bit more, but the more light that you have pointing down, the better the light quality of the video. Make sure that professional dress is adhered to, and be wary of distracting necklines and busy shirt patterns such as striped, polka dot, and checkered. These typically clash with backgrounds and can be distracting. Additionally, glasses are very tough to record because of the glare, so if at all possible, take them off to record. However, if this is not possible, make sure the glasses are clean because smudges are seen very quickly, and adjust the angle of the camera to help limit the reflection of the light. It is important to not rock back and forth or side to side because it can make the viewer feel motion sickness and be a major distraction. If using a laptop or desktop computer, you will need to have some type of screen capture software to record your video. There are several free or low-cost options available, including Screencast-O-Matic and Jing. Nimbus and Katura are great options for Chromebooks. I personally like using the Pro version of Screencast-O-Matic because it is only $15 a year for unlimited recording time without a required logo. However, most free screen capture software options meet the requirements for recording short videos. Once you've decided how you're going to record yourself, there are a few tips that should be used to frame or compose your shot. A rule of thumb of video blogs or discussion boards is to imagine that you are sitting across the table having a friendly conversation. If you are too close, you will be in the viewer's personal bubble. Too far away, and you will lose the viewer's attention quickly. If you typically find yourself talking with your hands, it would be better to move back a little bit to open up space between you and the viewer. You can always crop or zoom in on your face with editing software in the editing phase. Looking straight into the camera and leaning into the camera will allow the viewer to feel like you are personally engaged and that there is an interest in the conversation. Looking down, side to side, or leaning back will make the viewer sense that there is disinterest in the conversation and that you are not really engaged in communicating with them. This can be very hard when using a script, so instead of writing out everything to say word for word, write down big picture points to discuss. Use bigger font so that you can see the ideas quickly, and if you need to read a quote, write it down on a separate piece of paper and then hold the paper up in front of you and glance back and forth between the paper and the camera. Other areas to consider are body language, facial expressions, and verbal energy. The camera will quickly reveal tendencies and habits, so it is always beneficial to not have lots of body movement such as swaying back and forth or side to side. A familiar adage, "the eyes are the windows to the soul," becomes increasingly important when doing video blogs or discussion boards. Smiling while talking helps the viewer to smile with you and helps your eyes to match your facial expressions. Vocal inflection is also an important aspect of creating a video. A monotone or soft-spoken tone will quickly disengage the viewer and cause boredom. Allow energy into your voice by raising and lowering your pitch and volume level. Also, a good habit when recording is to slow down and enunciate your phrases because speaking too fast or with unclear diction can create a verbal overload for the viewer. Remember, you are having a calm conversation with the viewer, so create an environment that won't cause them to lose connection with you. When starting and ending the recording, allow a few seconds of silence to elapse so that the sound or video is not cut off. This can be easily removed or shortened with editing tools after the recording has finished. Also, try to speak in sections of thought and not in run-on sentences. If there is a section where a mistake is made, a fresh break and pause can help in deleting the section easily when using editing software so that there is no need to start over. Once you've completed the video, it is always helpful to have access to some basic editing software such as iMovie for Macs or Movie Maker for PC. Most newer computers will come with this editing software already installed. However, the programs can be easily installed. There are some higher-end editing software such as Camtasia, Adobe Premiere, or ProPresenter, but these can be very expensive and require much more video editing experience. With any editing program that you choose, I highly encourage you to watch some introductory YouTube videos on how to use the software to meet your specific needs. Once your video has been recorded and edited, it is important to upload it to a video sharing service. Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox will allow you to share it, but Vimeo and YouTube are typically used to share your video blog or discussion board. In this lesson, we will upload a video to YouTube and use both the link and embed code to submit it in Blackboard. Once you have logged into your YouTube account using your Gmail, click on the upload icon in the top right-hand corner. Either drag and drop your video files or select files to upload. A few things that can be done at this stage is to include basic info, including the title or description. Additionally, the video can be made public, unlisted, or private. If the video is set to private, no one except for you will be able to access it. I typically use the unlisted feature so I can control who has access to the video link. Another nice feature is the ability to use a custom thumbnail as the main image. I like creating a quick image with the topic information using Google Slides or PowerPoint and saving the slide as an image. Once saved as a JPEG file, I can use the custom thumbnail option to upload it. Once the video has been processed, click Publish Link and then Share options will be given. To submit in Blackboard, create a thread and then open the HTML option. A lot of people are nervous of using this feature, but it is one of the best ways to have control of how the final product will look. As a side note, if you use any type of learning management system, a basic understanding of how to use HTML will help you tremendously. Copy the embed HTML code from YouTube and then paste it into the Open HTML Code View box. Click the Update button and you will see a box where the video will be housed. To adjust the size of the video, click on the box and then use the corner boxes to resize, and I typically like to center the video to make it look nice. Additionally, I always paste the YouTube link because some systems don't allow for YouTube to play from a third-party system. I try not to just use the URL code, so I either type out the name of the video or just type YouTube link and then I highlight it. Select the Insert Edit icon and paste the URL link in the link path box. I always recommend that the target is set to open in new window because it can be very frustrating to have the link open in the same window and have to navigate back and possibly have to reopen the previous page because of inadvertently closing out of the window. Click the Insert button and the name will now be blue, signifying a link. Once you are satisfied with how the thread looks, click the Submit button and you have completed the process of submitting a video blog. Remember that the more you practice, the better you will be at doing video blogs and discussion boards. You won't always get it right the first time, but the more experience you have with the process steps, the easier and quicker it will become. Happy vlogging!